It's one of our video series. Kelly, she's speaking at me. Kelly is now recording this, so you can go back on the School of Engineering First Year Advising Hub website, and you can find all this information plus these recordings if you would like to watch them back. So this is how you are going to get registered for your very first semester at RPI. Welcome. We can't wait to meet you in person, but in the meantime, we get to meet you via WebEx and have meetings and get you ready for your registration, which for most of you is on July the 13th. Okay, Kelly, I'm ready. Here's what we're talking about. Oh, I should introduce us, rude. So I am Jennifer Yeager. I'm one of the 5 first year engineering advising hub advisors. Kelly is also here. She's going to take over halfway through the presentation. Bulos, like Kelly said, is our tech support, just kind of hanging out in the background. And we have 2 other members of our team that will be sitting in on other webinars. That's the introduction. We're talking about RPI and the various academic definitions that we have. Registration resources, very important, so you register the right way. How to register, what are the steps? What do you do when you have transfer credits that you're bringing in or AP credits? And then important dates. Also, you want to pay attention to those and take some screenshots. And then we have time at the very end of this webinar for questions that you can drop into the chat. Next, please. Here we are again. There's 5 of us. Right now, we will advise you guys as a team. So when you come to our drop-in hours, which by the way, are going all the way through the end of registration week to the 17th of July, you can continue to come to drop-in hours, also listed on our website, and meet with any of the 5 of us. Next, please. So here are the academic definitions that we promised. This is a great screen because you need to know what these things are so you can adhere to timelines. We have an add deadline and a drop deadline, same day. So you can add a course at any time during the first 10 class days of a semester. For us in the fall semester, that's going to be September 11th. So you might want to change sections or straight up add a class. That does nothing to your GPA. It doesn't appear on your transcript. Drop deadline. You could drop a course anytime during those first 10 days. We'll talk about this a lot, especially with students who say, I brought in AP credit for Calc 1. Do I take Calc 1 again? Or should I go on to Calc 2? And that's a very personal decision for every student, but we lean heavily on these add drop deadlines. After those first 10 days of classes, you can withdraw from a class as well. So you will get a D that's assigned to your transcript if you withdraw from a course. Yes, it's a W on your transcript. That's not a bad thing. Most times employers or professors who are looking for research, no one is going to be startled by a W on your transcript unless you're someone who's withdrawing from 3 classes a semester. Then they're going to wonder what's going on. A W every once in a while does not, or in any case, does not affect your GPA. It's just a W on your transcript and you just move forward. Now at the bottom, we have a link of RPI acronyms. This is very important because RPI is just made of acronyms, even our name. Oh, I have to click into this, don't I? Do I have to click into that, Kelly?
No, you don't need to. We'll go
Is
over
it the
it
next
after.
screen? Okay.
You got it.
Moving forward. So here are the academic definitions, part 2. Haas, you will hear a lot about. That's your humanities, arts, and social sciences here at RPI. Every single engineering student has to do 20 credits in the Haas core. Something that happens all the time is students will want to use a management course towards Haas, but that's a completely different category. Management courses are not Haas courses. Some students choose to audit a course. That's just AW. You don't get credit for a course. You just show up. Pass no credit, very important for classes that you are going to take that are not required of your major. So what that basically does is it changes the grading. You're not going to get letter grades A, B, C, D, F. It's now going to be you pass the class or you don't pass the class. If you fail, you get an NC for no credit. And just like everything else, there's a deadline should you choose to pass no credit a course with a form attached to it. Repeating a course, this is super important as well. You can repeat a course up to 2 times if you fail a course. If you repeat a course, both the grades are going to be showing up on your record. The course credit will count only once, and both grades appear on the transcript. So nothing is getting erased there. The grade received in the repeated course, the most recent attempt, is that's the one that's going to stick. So worst case scenario, you take a class, say you fail Calc 1, you go to retake it. Oh, that's a bad example. Say you got a D in Calc 1, you retake it, and now you have an F. The F would be the grade that sticks. Whew, that was tough work. Next screen. So we have 13 engineering majors at RPI. You can see them all here. I don't have to read down the list. Pay special attention though to your industrial and management engineering. For whatever reason, they get a couple of different designations. So you'll see it called ISYE or you'll call it MGTE. Everybody else kind of like makes sense. It only has one. We'll stick with that, even though that's not entirely true. Next screen, please. So we have a bunch of students coming to us in the class of 2030 who are undeclared engineering majors. So they are going to decide what major they want to declare within their first year, typically at RPI. We are teaching a course, and when I say we, I mean the School of Engineering Hub Advisors. We teach Engineering 1700, which is a 1-credit course, and it basically introduces you to the different types of engineering. It meets 1 hour a week. It's not a heavy lift for you at all in your schedule. And that's so true that even if you're not an undeclared engineer, what if you're already declared an aerospace engineer or an electrical engineer? You can still register for this course. It's not restricted only to undeclared engineers. That's offered in the fall term only though. So it means you should prioritize it and definitely get it in your schedule if you're interested for fall 2026. If you are an undeclared engineer, you're required to register this course when registration opens. Next screen, please. And then what if you want to change your major? This is going to change at some point. There's a form attached to it, but for right now, while we're still in the summer, before you come and attend your first classes at RPI, you will still do this through your admissions application portal. So nothing is happening through the registrar's office right now. You're going to do this through your application portal where you applied to RPI using the password that you created in the application portal. You'll go in and you'll change your major, and it takes a couple days to process through. Even though you go on the back end and you do this change, it's good to let the School of Engineering Advising Hub know that you made this change so we're aware and we can properly advise you. Next screen, please. And then we have lots of resources. I do sound like a broken record saying all the time, go to our website. It is a plethora of resources that you need for registration and then for the whole rest of your freshman year and sometimes beyond. Our website is really great. We are doing drop-in advising that I referenced earlier. That gets you ready for your fall registration. That began on the 25th and it's ongoing all the way through the 17th of July. We have course registration checklists. That's what you are going to use to be able to register for classes, so you know what classes to register for. Added bonus is that we took into account lots of people are bringing in transfer credit or AP credit. So it's a if-then scenario. If I already got credit for Calc 1, what do I register next? We have transfer credit policies, very important, and registration assistant FAQs, general RPI FAQs, and a communication archive in case you think you missed any emails. Kelly, do you want me to kind of click around in here?
No, that's okay. We'll
She's like, no.
That's all right. Nah, you did great.
We'll just look at them.
Yeah, we're gonna go through all those resources at the end.
Cool.
This way we could just kind of do like a mock of how to
Zip
go
on
through our
through.
website. Yeah.
Okay.
But cool. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
So next we're going to talk about where to start. How do I begin building my schedule, and how do I officially register for my fall semester? So, as Jen mentioned, there's resources on our website, and maybe Bulos, if you want to throw our website link into the chat, that would be super helpful. But you will use the uh, registration checklist on the left-hand side here. What's on the right-hand side is your academic 4-year plan. These are not available yet. We will do this during the year. Right now, we just need to get you in classes for the fall semester. So that's what we're focusing on, and that's what this registration checklist will hopefully guide you on what to do. So go through the next slide. First, we're going to use a tool called Quax. So Quax is a website that our computer science students made. We give them all the credit. They do a great job with it, and it's really helpful, especially when designing your schedule. SAS is great to an extent, but this really gives you all the options and trying to explore different classes and what is recommended from us, your advisors, on that registration checklist and plugging it into Quax. So by using that reg checklist, you will then go into Quax, and I highly recommend watching the how to use Quax video on our website as well, because that will tie right into this video of what happens next. Okay, now I need the screenshots of SAS, and what do I do on that screen? So let's say we have the perfect schedule from Quax. You will go ahead and click your registration dashboard on your tile. Now you'll be able to do this right now, but you won't be able to do the full thing because your registration time ticket has not opened yet. So if we go to the next slide, this is what it would look like in that registration window. Now you'll be able to get this far because you'll be able to plan ahead. Sometimes you can preload courses into this system. Again, you might have to come up with multiple schedules just in case, things are full. One course conflicts with something else. That's where Quax is really handy because it prevents any conflicts. So yes, you then click register for class link. Using Quax as a guide, you will select the CRN numbers on the bottom left-hand side. So if you hover over one, it copies it. You click it, it'll copy on its own. CRN stands for course registration number. So each section of a course has a 5-digit identifier. So this is what you will use in that SIS screen to officially register for your courses. So by using this, you have a typical fall semester schedule here. Physics, calculus, chemistry, your INQR course, which is your Haas inquiry requirement for first-year students, and graphics and CAD. So all these courses, we get a lot of questions about what all these blocks mean. We do have the course schedule, class schedule link on our website as well. That is where you will find what each block means. Now, I could also just tell you, majority of Wednesday is your test block. So for chemistry, you only go when you have a test. Same thing for Calc 1 here. Graphics and CAD is different. That's a once-a-week class, so you definitely will attend that course. But for physics, that test block is Tuesday night. Everything else is a lab or most likely a lecture. So Chem has that long block here. It's probably the most common questions we get are, what are these blocks? So computer science has their own thing. They have a lab and a test block. There's some other courses that have something like that as well. So any questions, just message us and we can answer that for you, or go ahead and look in that class schedule link. And I'll show that at the end as well. Okay, enough on the Quack screen. So go back to SIS, and this is where you put those course reference numbers or registration numbers to register. I recommend clicking the Add Another CRN button and just put in all of your CRNs at once. So this way you just have to click Submit and register. So, add to summary, add another one, add to summary, and so on and so forth. And then I like the way Jen referred to this last time. She wishes this were highlighted in yellow or some type of bright color, because even if your courses are populated over here, you're not registered yet. So once you press submit and you see those green, can we go back? Submit, then, and you see everything turns green on the registered status, then you are registered. So the submit button is really important. If there's an error that pops up, it usually will pop up on the screen. It'll say full section or maybe restricted to certain majors. Dig a little deeper. SIS has all the information, and that's what we use. Quacks is a nice tool, but there is a 15-minute delay. So if there was a seat in Quacks, but there's not a seat in SIS, we have to do a little digging and maybe try to find another section. So again, don't worry. We are here to help you navigate those situations. Try your best to troubleshoot it on your own. There's a lot of things happening on registration day, but we're also here to support you through that process, and we'll get to you as soon as we can to find a solution as well. And Jen, tune in if I'm missing anything as well. All right. So
But one
just so
one
go ahead,
thing,
let me go
because
back.
you're talking about how busy registration day is. We'll
got it.
probably say this again, but WebEx is the best way to reach us on web registration day. We're here. You guys are registering all over the country, all over the world. So the quickest responses come from like quick fire WebEx messages. Email is secondary, and it might take a couple hours or even to the next day for us to answer you, which is not ideal when you're registering and seats are going away. Okay, that's it.
Absolutely. Good call. Yes, please download WebEx. I know a lot of you are on this today. If you're using an external browser, that's fine, but we definitely recommend, logging into your RPI credentials, downloading the WebEx app so that you're able to message with us. So like Jen said, for quick answers, during the work hours here. All right. So just a reference back, if you have any questions about how to transfer your credits in, AP, IB, dual enrollment, traditional transfer credit, anything like that, I highly encourage you to go watch that recording. Kim Loring presented it. We just want to make sure that your credit comes in. And if for some reason it's not in by the time you register, let us know. We're kind of giving the registrar a window until July 10th. If for some reason it's not on your transcript, send us a message. We'll do some digging to see what's going on. If your credit is not on your account by the time you register, there will be an override process, and we'll walk you through what that looks like. For now, let's give the registrar some time to add those credits to everyone's account. But yeah, highly recommend watching this so that you know on what to do, instructions on how to send over your credit to RPI. All right, finishing it off with some important dates. You should have received a time ticket, so go ahead and look in SIS. If there's questions on how to find that, I can show you exactly how to do that in SIS in that registration screen. We're currently in advising consultation, as Jen mentioned, through July 17th when registration closes. Majority of freshmen will be registering on the 13th. There's some that have earlier time tickets for other circumstances, but the majority are the 13th. First day of classes, add deadline drop deadline is September 11th. So, keep that in mind if you want to make any changes. Let's say you start in Calc 2 because you have AP credit for Calc 1 and you're thinking, okay, cool, I can do this. You go through those first 2 weeks and you're like, this is not going to work out. We can help you find another section into Calc 1 in those first 2 weeks. So that's kind of why they give you that grace period. You kind of test it out, see how everything's going. Same thing with really any other class set you feel prepared for, or it could be the reverse. A lot of students want to forfeit their AP credit and retake the course at RPI just so that they have a good foundation going into all their other coursework. It's totally your choice. Those first 2 weeks in Calc 1, you're like, I know this. I don't need to be here. Then we can help you find a Calc 2 section instead. There is a withdrawal deadline that will be posted on the academic calendar soon. It's typically the week before the pass no credit deadline. So probably November 6th, if I were to guess, something like that. But of course, you'll work with us throughout the whole year, especially when it comes to these deadlines. But just kind of giving you an idea of what to look for. We have plenty of time, to make some changes in between. This is just your initial registration period to get into as much as you can, and we're here to support you to figure out alternative solutions if we have to. Okay. Cool. Please put your questions in the chat. Kind of that's the kind of the gist of it. I know there's a lot of different platforms and resources and things, and I'm going to go through the website as well now. But as I do that, Jen, is there anything else that I missed that you wanted to emphasize?
Nope, everything's good. You hit all the points, just like Kelly's about to talk about. Literally everything you need for registration is on our hub website, but you'll see.
Cool. All right. So we are the class of 2030. You have our SOE Hub email here if you need to have any questions. And then we'll scroll down. If you've already joined the drop-in advising, awesome. That also provides instructions on how to download the WebEx app to message us pretty easily instead of email, but either one works for us. Instructions on how to, look at your time ticket and SIS. Then we have all of our recordings here, and the webinar links is probably where you got, but how you got here today. But also we have the slides, which is probably the most important instead of watching a whole video again. But you're welcome to use these slides with those clickable links like the RPI acronyms, the transfer webinar, things like that. But creating a Quack schedule is super great. That's kind of the part one of this webinar series, if we want to call it that. And this is kind of part two on how to put it all together into that SIS screen. But most importantly, here are the major registration checklists. Select your major. Let's just say we are a materials engineer. And then if you don't really want to work through the entire checklist at the top, you could just look at the recommended schedule on the second page. So if we go to the second page here, you can see, some of the recommendations that we have. If you bring in Chem 1 credit, then you would take material science, Main 1010 or physics. You could do either one, and so on and so forth. Obviously Calc 1 or a higher level Calc, but the most important thing that we highly recommend for fall is this Haas inquiry requirement, fitting around all of your other math and science courses ideally, but, take a look at those INQR courses to see which one interests you the most. But I can also show that on the Quack screen as well. Most important, here's the most popular questions we get. Actually got both of these in one session today. Is 10 minutes enough time to get to each class? Absolutely. RPS campus is pretty small, so you're definitely going to make it in time. And then what does each course block mean? So as I said, most of them are those test blocks on Wednesdays. Physics is Tuesday night, but it really depends on the course that you're looking at. Yeah, those are probably our most frequent questions, but there's also some on the right-hand side here too as well. I feel like I'm missing something on our website that we click a lot.
I know what I was going to say. When you
Go ahead.
were in the checklists, I think we've been finding, correct me if I'm wrong, if students log in when they're in the checklists, it seems to have fewer problems. I don't know why, but we saved it in Box, and Box is being temperamental and weird. But
sure, yeah, that could work too. Yeah, sometimes Box you have to refresh it a little bit, or you have to log in, but there shouldn't be any restrictions on it. If you do have any issues, let us know. We can send you the downloaded copy. But in general, this is what you'll be using to determine what your fall schedule will be. Each major is different, so just take a look. If you're in between two majors and you're kind of undeclared, definitely meet with us. Like if you're leaning towards more electrical, computer systems, make sure there's comp sci in your schedule in the fall. If you're any other major, you're probably looking at chemistry in the fall. But little things like that. We're very seasoned advisors. We've been doing this for a few years now, especially as a whole unit. So we've gotten every question you can imagine when it comes to registration. But hopefully these checklists make that pretty simple. I'm not missing any questions in the chat, am I, Jen? Okay, cool.
oh, wow, Abigail just
Oh,
put a question in there just this second.
this means to me I can register. Yeah, so the question is, my time says July 13th at noon, so that's when you'll be able to go into the registration screen and register for classes. And then it will end on July 17th at 11:59 p.m. So you have the whole week to register for classes. Now, you'll be able to make changes when registration reopens on August 12th. So that, yes, you got the gist of that, Abigail. Go ahead, Jen. What's the next question?
So is there a way to select what time during the day the class will occur, like getting mainly afternoon classes?
You got it. So if we go, let me go back to the screen here. How do I create my schedule? We'll go ahead and click this Quack schedule. Wow, say that 5 times fast. The answer is yes. So if you only want afternoon classes, let's say we click Calc 1, you see that there's 10 a.m., there's 2 p.m. Awesome. So you just click all the 2 p.m.s. Or what we recommend to start is to toggle everything. Sometimes there's certain courses that just don't work well in terms of there's conflicts, but if you know that there's no conflicts, you can go ahead and select them like that, and then go to the schedule, and just those sections will pop up. Okay. Hopefully that answers the question there, but I can keep feeling cool. You're welcome. Nice. Awesome. I know Quacks isn't the most intuitive sometimes, so I'm hoping that Quack's video is also helpful, but I'm gonna play pretend and keep plugging in some courses here as we wait for some questions.
While she's plugging in courses, something about Quacks that I have learned, sometimes it freaks out a little bit and it gets a little buggy and it just spins and spins. If you just refresh it, it's usually fine. So, and the other thing, make sure you're in the correct semester. Sometimes you'll open up Quacks and it'll open to spring 2025, and then you plan a whole schedule that doesn't exist. So just double check that you're in the right semester.
All right, we have 13 credits so far. I'm going to go ahead and select the INQR course that interests me. Let's see, I think I want to take Media and Society. We'll go up here and you'll see that there's 1,000 schedules to choose from. Yeah.
Kelly, what's it mean if you have a class and it has a strike through on Quacks?
It means it doesn't work with your current schedule. So, for example, graphics in CAD here, it is selecting or populating the schedule that is not the ones crossed out. So cross out means doesn't work with the combination of courses that you've selected so far.
Ooh, here's a question. For the sections that say TBD, does that mean that section may not happen or that they do not know the professor?
Good question. It means they don't know the professor. I will say for the Wednesdays here, these are test blocks, so it's probably going to be a TA or another professor that they're just not sure about yet. But in general, you are correct there. It doesn't. We're not sure about the professor yet.
And I think I'm caught up. I just got an email and it's covering everything up on me. Okay.
Okay.
No more
but yeah,
questions.
this is how you tap through. You see this physics mentoring piece kind of flies everywhere. Sometimes I like to remove that section and see, oh, okay, so I actually have 92 sections to choose from. So if you want to tap through, see what we're doing here. Chem, this is the lab I mentioned, and the recitation. Lecture is Tuesday, Friday, and then that test block is Wednesday. So in general, you're looking at test blocks on Wednesday, so you only go when you have a test. Tuesday night is the physics test block. I think comp sci, it's usually Thursday night. So it really depends on the course. So, you can use that class schedule link here on the website. Click fall of 2026, and you can search by the CRN number, and it will tell you if it's a lecture, a recitation, a lab, or a test block.
Yeah, Control F in the CRN will save your day because it's a lot of scrolling otherwise in that class hour schedule.
Yeah, so for example, there's the test block for chemistry, a lecture, and so on and so forth. But yeah, not the most intuitive. It's kind of a back way to do it. Unfortunately, this is like the only way we know of what each block
For sure.
is. Or you could just ask us and we'll tell you. That's fine too.
We're caught up on questions. Anything else? Other questions? Okay.
We can stick around too. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll hang back a little bit too if there's anything else that we missed. But yeah, we are looking forward to welcoming you to campus and getting you through your first registration. You can do this. We're here to support you.
Hey, Kelly, keep the recording going if you can, just in case if we get questions when someone unmutes.
Oh,
that,
true.
that way we could just record it right through. Sorry, guys.
Good thinking.
Cool. All right. Well, that ends our presentation. So if you're welcome to stay and hang out. Mentoring block is required. Yes. So physics mentoring is required for first year students. This is a smaller section so that you really know these physics foundational skills, because your biggest lecture is going to be physics probably, and this way they make it a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit easier to
So when
ask
you're
questions and learn.
registering, oops, sorry.
No, you're
When
good.
you're registering for classes, you'll register for Physics 1100, and then you'll also register for Physics 1101, 1101. That's the physics mentoring section. So you have to register that separately. And also, while I'm thinking of it, reminder that we are closed on Friday for the 4th of July observance. So you still have us for drop-ins tomorrow and on Thursday. So plan accordingly, unless you want to wait till next week.
Do I have to register for lab and recitation separately? Nope, they're all included in one link or one CRN number, so you don't have to do those separately. This pretty much, if it's the same color, it's associated with one course registration number, so you don't have to do them separately. They're all included. Good question.
Is the exception to that bio? You have to separate register
Yeah,
the lab
bio
separate.
Bio's a little weird. Good call. I don't know why bio does this, but those are separate. There's a few majors that we recommend taking bio in the fall. There's actually very few, so probably just
So don't worry about
chemical.
it.
Yeah, honestly, most of you are taking chemistry, but or comp sci. The rest might be taking biology with the lab, cell bio with the lab. Those are separate, where you have to register those together. But if you have any questions about that, just message us so we can talk through that piece.
All right. Anything else? Oh, new messages. Is that us? Let's see if I missed anything. No, these are all the old ones.
Okay.
Groovy.
Are there courses in the fall that make you go to class for 2 weeks before?
No.
I don't know what you mean, but no. Classes start on August. Oh, let me not say the wrong date. Is it 25th? No.
Ooh, was it
No, that sounds
24th?
wrong.
I can't.
August
27?
27.
There we go. 27. Yeah. No, you don't
And
need
not
to.
before. Plus,
Yeah.
first year experience office has you guys busy doing all kinds of programming right up to the start of classes. So nope.
Yeah. Just focus on that. Make some friends and hang out before, classes begin.
Do some adventure blocks.
Yeah.
All right. I think they ran out of steam, Kelly.
Cool. Well,
Now
not
they're
cool.
taking it all in.
Yeah. We'll post this webinar, shortly, but a lot of resources on the hub page. Message us, you know how to contact us. Definitely download WebEx when you can. A lot of stuff will be happening there, especially in real time when registration occurs. So yeah, this was
Cool.
fun hanging out.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks for coming.
Cool. Thank you, Abigail. Awesome. Everyone have a wonderful day or night, depending on where you are. And we'll talk soon.
Yay. Bye.